You are Venezuelan?
I don't know. A Mexican.
Mexican? Same difference, Spanish?
Morning, sir.
Morning. What are they checking for?
Alcoholic, blood.
No, the checks is another thing that they implement again, that every vehicle they check in and out. They're just saying what they're checking for, they're just checking vehicles in and out.
Yeah. So that's why the union getting involved? But they didn't inform you guys?
We were in discussions and the discussions haven't concluded and they just went ahead and implemented.
And there we see a Mexican challenging the officials of the union. Would that be to you?
We're trying to correct one with another.
Who's that? Yes, sir. You reverse it and you nearly clean up somebody.
Big man,
Why this coming up? Why this coming up? I didn't have this. I didn't set no alarm. Yeah. I tell you I come in here. He still come. Sharon called me and tell me cover the story. He turn up. Hamilton Kojo TV6.
smile, boy.
The payment report up.
What's the next one? That for him.
Yeah.
Result. I early this week when I'm on. I mean, I early this week.
Fertilizer?
Yes, I want to hear that.
Richie,
So you could come up and set up over here and we could run it with the right here. So probably do one interview. So
you hear that? Those who refuse the breathalyzer are sent back home. You ready?
We'll not stand the 7. When the other guy from TV6 won this, I'll do one.
Which other guy?
That guy in the blue
I am TV6.
And he's what?
He's TV6.
Oh,
But I was sent by the company.
Okay. Well, we'll still do one, so at least you have if it being disseminated outside as well, we'll do one interview.
All right.
Yeah.
In all these type of victimization and stuff.
He's a Spanish. He's a Spanish.
No, but that's
We have to go back to we'll start. We
Okay.
just want to give the focus on the commerce coming in as well.
Trying to get Guaido up there.
Yeah.
Here we see the alleged plantation master who has been calling the shots without.
Because the man refused to miss lunch, to skip lunch and work through it. No job for it.
It is alleged that he terminated a worker because the officer refused to skip lunch. And as we see, there's a heavy pileup of traffic as the various checks and balances need to be done. You'll see which one. And we've got a traffic pileup to get in due to the new regulations of breathalyzer and searches. A car coming up behind you. A car coming up behind you.
Right there. I was on police scooter as well as I was driving.
You ready?
Here for the records. Tell me your name and your status.
Are you ready yet? Moving on in. Hold on. I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Records, tell us your name and your portfolio where we are presently.
Good morning all. My name is Ahmed Mohammed. I am the OWTU local branch president here at Trinidad Cement Limited. This morning we are here demonstrating our disgust in protest at the unilateral implementation by the company's management of a breathalyzer policy which had absolutely no consultation with the union prior to its implementation. What we are seeing happening over here is that this breathalyzer policy implementation is illegal, did not have any review by the statutory Joint Health and Safety Committee, which committee has not participated in any meeting in almost 6 months, where the chair of that particular Joint Safety Committee has deferred every single meeting which ought to have been occurring on a monthly basis. What we are seeing as well is that this is also illegal in that in this jurisdiction, albeit CIMEX being the majority shareholder of Trinidad Cement Limited, they are breaching our laws because there is a recognized majority union on this workplace, and also there ought to be consultation with the RMU. This is essentially one of many measures that is really signaling the imposition of exploitative and discriminatory actions which are tantamount to bullying of workers. One worker was terminated from employment because he refused to avoid or forego his lunch. So he was terminated because he committed the grave sin of having his lunch, so he no longer has a job. And this is in spite of him being a highly skilled worker, performing specialized work not just for us here in Claxton Bay, Trinidad Cement Limited, but also at the other companies, other plants in the Caribbean. What we are seeing here is that this is essentially big stick management, where threats of punitive management are being made. You are being instructed to sleep with the phone by your head, on loud, where you have radiation really being emitted by your cell phones. And you're being told as well that you're on a 24/7 job here. If not, you could go to work at the bank. These measures in 2019 is really tantamount to the return of the plantation, albeit us celebrating independence just 2 days ago. This is the new TCL. This is CIMEX, albeit they having a number of standards, performance standards and ethical standards. And here you see the local management at Trinidad Cement Limited with foreigners leading, all here on work permits. We as a country, independent as it may be, giving them permission to come here and reintroduce massa tactics again. So the adage of our founding father, father of the nation, Dr. Eric Williams, where massa day is done. Well, we have news for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. At TCL, massa days is back here again, where bullying is the order of the day and intimidation.
Are the workers against the breathalyzer policy?
The workers here, at the end of the day, the union itself as well is not supportive of workers coming to work under the influence of alcohol or drunk. But what we are saying, procedurally and also in terms of statutory requirements, it is a legal requirement that any term and condition ought to be privy to consultation with the recognized majority union prior to implementation. The manner which this implementation has taken place as well is showing a colossal waste of man hours. It is also not affecting our company in terms of the loss of man hours here, where 100% people are being targeted. You are being denied entry to the plant if you do not access the breathalyzer. Also, we are causing an inhibition of traffic on the main roads as well. So Trinidad and Tobago is also being affected as well with the loss of man hours by us creating a traffic gridlock in the Claxton Bay area.
When was this implemented?
This morning is actually the launch or the implementation of this, and unilateral, as I emphasized earlier on, by the company. The notice was given just the day before the independence holiday.
But just for clarity, are you all against going on notices?
The union, as I said, is not against workers participating in the process after it has gone through the process of having consultation with the union. And of course, we are not in favor of the 100% testing here. There ought to be like testing for cause. There would be a matter of consultation as well too before we have people being subjected to this. In fact, many years ago, this oilfield workers union would have had a drug and alcohol policy signed off between the company and the union. But the company now would have thrown that aside and now want to have this alcohol in the workplace, this breathalyzer policy implemented. This is what we're seeing, a unilateral implementation.
Is it going to be a daily thing?
Apparently, this seems to not a daily thing. This is going to be every single entry into the compound. So if you come into the morning and you go across the road, as you would notice, we have a jetty across there where we do the exports. If you walk across there, or those of us in operations and engineering services, we are back and forth. Every time you pass through this gate, you have to go through that breathalyzer scenario. So it shows really that there would not have been adequate thought. If there would have been consultation, all of those, wastage of time, as I said, colossal waste of time, not just for us at TCL, but for the country as well, because this is really causing a big problem.
Or was there any correspondence to the union or the workers that they were going to start this system?
There was a notice posted to the workers the day before the Independence holiday, and subsequent to that, there's this unilateral implementation.
And nothing to the union?
No. The union has not been advised in this instance that this process is going to be implemented this morning.
So what's the major concern with this new policy?
The major concern of this new policy is that the company is breaching the laws once again, and multinational and as huge as they may be, operating in our jurisdiction, we are of the firm view and resolute in that position that anyone operating in our jurisdiction ought to be compliant with the law. And that entails, down into some detail, that we need to have consultation with the RMU as a company. And we ought not to be doing this thing unilaterally. This is, in a sense, bullying and intimidation of our workforce.
Have there been workers coming to work intoxicated?
We have not been aware of any event such as that. What we are saying is, if there is, the union would play its social role and be very responsible according to policy that we would have issued and agreed to.
So what's the union response going forward?
The union response at this stage is that we are not going to be compliant with this. We are asking that the company do what is proper and also compliant with the law, convene the Joint Health and Safety Committee, let us review the policy that they wish to introduce, and let us do the correct thing going forward.
Do you plan to call for a meeting or send any correspondence to them?
We would have indicated that repeatedly to the company, and yes, we have no difficulty in extending our arm again to the company and asking that we convene and have such a meeting.
They responded so far?
No. So far we are seeing the bullying tactic, the antagonistic approach, and one of intimidation. So workers are being threatened as well that if they don't comply with this measure, that they would be having disciplinary hearing. And of course, there may even be termination. If a worker can be terminated for not really foregoing his lunch, well, then we would presume if this is their unilateral imposed policy, that workers may be also terminated for this.
Why do you think this was implemented? Were there any cases that you know of, people being intoxicated on the job site?
No, not to my knowledge.
So why do you think this has been, implemented?
Well, the management of the company has said time and again, and one person, a senior manager of the company, that this is what CEMEX has implemented globally. We don't know that to be the case, but even so, we have laws in our jurisdiction. So there ought to have been consultation with the RMU.
Everybody. I mean, all who drive alone.
Say that again, what you just said, right?
Yeah, what we are going to do this morning is attempt to walk in as well to report for duty on the job and see if the security will allow us, seeing that we are not going in on this occasion with our vehicles. Okay.
partners